Okay, so firming the base, the legs, feel the touch of the shins, the feet on the ground, whatever you're seated on. And then from that firm feeling with your legs, lift up through the spine, broaden across the chest, open your arms in the collarbones so you feel broad across this top portion of the chest, and flatten the shoulder blades against the back. Pull the abs back a little bit and try to sit up taller. Then join your hands in prayer and close your eyes. Feel the connection of the two hands. Breathe and feel your breath. See if you can breathe evenly in the front and side and back chest. And we'll say one Om. When you are ready, inhale. Bow your head down towards your heart. Feel your breath. Bring your hands down on your legs, palms up. And then raise your head and open up your eyes. And change the leg in the front. Interlock your fingers, turn your hands out, and stretch your palms by pressing your fingers into the backs of your hands. Still sit up nice and tall. And then turn your hands back in and change the finger that's on the top. So separate and put the other finger over, and then stretch your hands again. So really push against the back of your hand to spread open the palms. Good. And then turn your hands in and set your hands onto your thighs. And then reach your right arm forward. Really squeeze the bicep and tricep against the bone, and then lift your arm, squeezing the tricep and the bicep to the bone, and then release it down and hand to thigh. And then the left arm forward and squeeze to the bone, the big muscles on the arm, and take the arm up if you can and still squeeze the bone. And then bring the arm down and hand to thigh. Just gently roll your shoulders back. Keep your belly firm, interlock, stretch the arms forward, and if you can, up. Sit up nice and tall. And then lower the hands, turn them in, and change the interlace of the fingers. Spin the hands and reach them back up if you can. And breathe. Good. And then separating hands, reach out and down. Straighten the two legs in front and stretch your feet. Good. Okay. So if the next thing is difficult to do, then you'll just sit higher, adding another blanket if needed. Bring your right knee up to the ceiling, right foot on the floor. Sit up nice and tall. So if that's hard on your back to do that, then just sit higher with more blankets here. Take your right hand on, or right arm on your bent leg, your left hand behind you, and gently revolve to the left, to the straight leg side. Let's go to the straight leg side. So yeah, there you go. Now your head, like mine, might come forward a little bit when you twist. Just see if you could take your head back a little bit. That's better. Good. And then face forward. Just leave the legs. Just leave the right one bent as it is. We're going to take the straight one, bend it a little bit, and take it way out wide. And then sit up nice and tall. We're going to use the opposite hand and turn gently now to the bent leg side. Good. Nice soft breath. There you go. Sitting up nice and tall. And back into the middle. And let's just take the two legs straight forward. And bending left knee to ceiling when you're ready. Left arm can wrap and right hand goes behind. Gentle turn to straight leg side. Let's go to the straight leg side. So turning, that's it. There you go. Breathing. And then back in the middle, and we're going to take the straight leg, bend it, and take it out wide. Sit up nice and tall. And now opposite hand to that left knee, and we're turning gently now to the bent leg side. Couple of breaths here. See if you can gently pull your belly back and take it to the left. And returning back into the center and straightening both legs. Sit up nice and tall, reach up if you can. Breathe. And then reach out, exhale. All right. Squeeze the two legs together and we'll take a gentle turn to the right. And then let's go center and reach up. Inhale. Reach out, exhale, and gentle turn to the left. Really good, you guys. And then one more time, center, reaching up, inhale, and out, exhale. Then the right knee back up to the ceiling. Right arm wrapping, turning left. That's it. Keeping the legs. This time we're going to do something a little different. Now wrap the opposite hand to that right knee. There you go. Gently turning to the bent leg side now. That's it. Yeah. And then to the middle, change your legs. And we're going to turn to the straight leg first. So it's your left arm on that left leg, right hand goes behind you. That's it. So you turn to the straight leg side first. You got it. And then we're going to just leave the legs and change the direction of the twist. Beautiful. That's it. Go ahead and put your left hand behind you and wrap your right arm around the bent leg. That's it. Belly goes back and left. And then facing forward, just leave your left knee bent like this and see if you can bend your right leg in Baddha Konasana. Sit up nice and tall. Hold on to the left leg with the left arm and take your right hand behind you, gentle turn to the right. And keeping the legs. Change now. The twist, wrapping that right arm around the left knee and gentle turn to the left. Keep breathing. Very good. Facing forward and center. Let's straighten two legs towards me. Sit up nice and tall. And now right knee to ceiling and left leg in Baddha Konasana. And at first, just try to sit up. That's it. And then we're going to turn to the Baddha Konasana side. So you're going to take your left hand behind you and gentle turn. That's it. Yeah. Pull your abs back a little bit, just so you're not sort of spilling the energy out there. And then coming in the middle, keep your legs, and we're going to wrap that left arm around the right knee. And if you can, right hand goes behind you. That's it. You got it. Keep breathing. And then center and straighten two legs. All right. A lot of the times when I'm starting these classes, I feel like twisting is a really natural way to start. But one of the things the twists do is it draws you inward. And I think it's really helping ground as we're starting the yoga class. It's grounding us. But so now that we're a little bit more in our bodies, let's stand up. So go ahead and move your blankets to the side. And I'll just adjust the screen a little bit so hopefully you can see. Okay. I know I'm kind of cut off, but it doesn't matter. So go ahead and put your feet together and tighten up the muscles of your legs. So the thighs back and the hamstrings forward. So you're getting firmer with your legs, your hips, and your tadasana. And then stretch the arms out at the sides. And turn your palms up towards the ceiling now. And continue to stretch out with your arms. Reach arms overhead if you can. Breathing. Connect from your waist down into the feet to the floor, to the mat, to the floor. And from your waist up to the tips of your fingers, and then turn your hands forward, and then thumbs forward, and now out with your arms, and down with your arms. Now just hips distance apart with the feet. And let's try putting hands on hips. If that starts to irritate your shoulders, then you can bring them back down. But see if you can be hands on hips, elbows back. Pull your abs back and shift weight onto your left leg and just pick up your right heel and then see if you can pick up your right toes. Pull your abs back and then put your foot back down. And then right leg is going to start bearing the weight. Pick up your left heel. Pull your abs back and then see if you can pick up your left foot off of the floor. And then put your foot down. And then we're just going to do it again. So the left hip firm, pull your abs back, just pick up your right heel, pull your abs back, and then see if you can just lift up your knee a little bit, bringing your whole foot off of the ground, and then lower your foot down. And then that right hip, strong and firm, bend your left leg, just lift the heel. Pull your abs back and then just lift your knee up and see if you can lift the whole foot up off of the ground. And then lower your foot to the floor. Now just separate your feet a little bit and kind of shake it off. So bend your legs and kind of just wiggle a little bit and shake it off. Good. Okay, so now we're going to stretch the quads. If you need to hang on to a piece of furniture, that's totally fine. Okay, so when you're ready, bend your right leg, reach back with your right hand and see if you can catch your right foot. Now, if you need the wall for balance, just stand where you can lightly touch the wall or a chair. That's totally fine. And then releasing your right. When you're ready, bend the left, reach back and see if you can catch left foot. And it's fine to use the wall if you need the wall for balance. And releasing, standing 2 feet. Okay, so this is really good. We're going to repeat this when you're ready, touching the right, and take now your belly back a little bit, tailbone down, breathe. Those of you that are balancing easily, your other hand, optional to sweep it behind and maybe take the foot with 2 hands. Your hip, the standing leg hip, hold it firmly in. And lowering 2 feet to floor. So we stayed for a little longer on that side. Of course, you always just use the wall if you need it. When you're ready, bending your left, reaching back, pull your belly back, tailbone down. Optional to take the other hand around and hold the foot with 2 hands. The hip of your standing leg, don't let it bow out. Hold it in, breathing, and releasing 2 feet to floor, kind of shake it off a little bit. Good, all right. So feet closer than hips distance, but not touching. So pretty close with your feet, but not right together. Pull your abs back. Put your hands on your hips, elbows back. Bend your right knee. Lift your right leg and see if you can grab it and pull it in. And then set it down. So not too long of a hold, but obviously if you need the wall, you can always put your back against the wall. And then hips firm, bending your left knee, elbows could go back, lift your left knee up and then grab it and pull it in. And then set it down. Okay, shake it off a little bit because this is a little bit tiring across the hips for some of us. So we're going to try it one more time. Abs firm, elbows back, bending right knee. When you're ready, lift it, grab it, pull it in, and set it down. So this one's a little harder, huh? To balance. We'll try the other side when you're ready. Bending left, grab it, pull it in, and release. Good. Okay. All right. Go ahead and recline all the way down onto your back on the floor. And we'll stretch the hamstrings a little bit. So go ahead and lay down. Have your legs bent. If you need a pillow underneath your head, you know, of course you can grab it. And then draw your right knee into your chest first. And let's stretch the other leg out. So everyone can do this. So go ahead and just have your right leg bent in and your left leg stretched out on the floor. Breathe and feel your belly. See if you can relax your belly a little. Good. And then just change it over to the other side. That's it. A couple breaths here. Softening the belly. Okay, and then 2 feet on floor, knees bent. Draw your right leg in again, catch the back of your thigh and stretch the right leg up. So we'll stretch the hamstring a little bit on that right leg. Continue to breathe and soften the belly. Now it's optional to stay here. If this is pretty tight, then maybe just stay here. And then those that are a little more flexible, you could stretch the other leg out on the floor. Notice your breath. See if you can let it be smooth and steady. Continuing to let the belly soften down towards the spine. And then bend them both and put your feet on the floor. Just take a little bit of a rest, relax your belly, your back. And then draw the left leg in, bring your hands behind and straighten the left leg up. So first stretching that left hamstring, the back of your left thigh. It might also be a big stretch in your calf for some of you. Just noticing your belly, your breath. Optional to stay here or lowering right leg to the ground. Steady, smooth breath, soft belly. And then gently draw both into the chest, bending both knees in. Okay, so let's do this one again. If it's available to you, have your left leg straight out on the ground and your right leg up. If it's, if you can't do that, you'll just You'll bend the left leg if you need to. But if you can, straighten that left leg on the floor. Now, with your right leg, with the one that's up, take it, straighten it as best you can, and then take it like 2 inches to the right. You can just hold it with your hands if you want, and then take it to the middle, and then take it 2 inches to the left, and then take it to the middle, and then take it to the right, and then the middle and the left, and then the right and the middle and the left. Just back and forth, this little range. So 2 inches on the outside, 2 inches to the inside, and just move it across like that to the sides, inside and outside. Good, now put it in the middle, and then with your hands, so just use your hands. So I want you to use your arms to kind of be doing the movement. See if you can pull it forward a little bit. So kind of that 2-inch range still. And then go to the sides again. So the outside and the inside, just 2-inch range. And then go in the middle and go forward and back 2 inches, like kind of a pulse. Pulse it forward, let it go back, pulse it forward, let it go back, pulse it forward, let it go back. Okay, now hug them in, both of them, bend them in. And curl your legs in, just pause here. Relax your belly. And now straighten them both on the ground and push them down and let your back arch a little bit. Just don't exaggerate it, but just don't hold your back on the floor. Just push your legs down. Keep breathing. And now let's bend them again and catch the left leg. If you can, straighten the right one on the floor. So we're just going to do that on the other side. So soften the belly, use your arms, and just go to the 2 inches to the right and 2 inches to the left. That small range, forward, oh, it's not forward and back, it's side to side. So, just a moment over on the outside and then to the inside, and you're just doing this kind of side to side. Continue to breathe. Good. Okay, so then we're going to go to the center, and we're going to pull it a little bit forward and then let it go back. And we're going to do just that small kind of like 2-inch range, just forward and back, forward and back. That's it, just like you're doing. Try to relax your belly. And then we're going to pause and go to the side again. So inside and outside, that 2-inch range. And then in the center and forward and back again. And then bend them both in and hug them in. Now really hug them in and pull your belly down and point your buttock bones away from the ceiling. And breathe. Good, and then release 2 legs straight all the way down to the floor. Try to push your legs down. If it feels good, stretch your arms over your head. Legs down, keep breathing. Stretch long from your waist in 2 directions, to the tips of your fingers and out through your heels. Keep breathing. Good, and then bring your arms down and rebend your legs, but put your feet on the floor. Kind of inch your heels closer towards your body if you can. Get your arms under you a little bit and then lift your hips for kind of a baby Setu Bandha. Breathe. Feel your feet. Feel your arms. Feel the back of your head, and don't push your head down. And then lower your body down and let your whole back come down. So just make it comfortable to lay down there. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. We'll stretch the hips a little bit. If this is a good amount of stretch, stay here. Otherwise, you can curl your legs in, catching the back of the left leg. Make sure you're breathing. And lowering feet to floor. Crossing left ankle over right knee. Pausing, maybe staying here, or curling the legs in. If this bothers your knee, on the leg that's crossed over, you just flex that. Make sure you flex that foot. Good, and then release. Now get your heels close again to your body. We're going to do Setu Bandha. Roll your arms under you. Lift your hips this time. If you can lift higher and bring your arms more under you. Possibly clasping your hands, grabbing your fingers. Make sure you're breathing. And lift your chest up more. Lower, release your hands, lower your body, let your whole back come on down. And then we're going to roll over to the side and sit up. Good. Okay, so then it's optional, downward facing dog or child's pose. So if you can't do dog pose, you could do child's pose, but if you can come into downward facing dog, bring your hands under your shoulders, straighten your arms, turn your toes under, lift your hips, your knees, breathe. You can bend your legs a little if you need to, that's fine. And just lift up as high as you can, straighten your arms. If it feels okay to straighten your legs, you can try to push your thighs back. If that's too much, just bend them again. And if you really need a rest, you can come all the way down if you need to. If you're okay to stay in your dog pose, just keep breathing and stretching your arms, taking your hips up, your thighs back. And now let's all come down, and those that can go to child's pose, rest in child's pose. If you can't do child's pose, just lay on your back and draw the legs in. So either one, relax, rest your arms. Good. And then just sit in a comfortable position for a moment, just to watch. So from your dog pose, we're going to go to plank position, and then we're going to lift one leg. So just watch for a sec. So I'm going to go first into down dog, and then I'm going to come to plank. It's like the top part of a push-up. And then I'm going to lift one leg up. When you lift the leg, try to stay really firm in through your abs, okay? So let's go ahead and start. Downward facing dog first. And then plank position, like the top part of a push-up. Pull your abs up and lift your right leg up. Now let it come back down. And then lift your left. And put it back down. Now go all the way to child's pose. Just rest. All right, so I'm gonna watch this time and you guys are gonna repeat. So go ahead and go back into your dog pose. Pull your thighs back and come forward into plank position. Now pull your heels back, your heels back. Your tailbone has to come down a little bit more, not Jackie. Jackie, you need to lift yours up. And now everyone just sit back down. Just sit back, sit on your shins, take a rest. Because that's hard, right? I don't want to hold you for too long. So when you're doing plank position, you want to imagine your body is straight like a board from the top of your head to your heels. So watch for just one more sec. I know my tailbone's up a tiny bit when I'm demonstrating this. It's partly because I'm looking at you guys. So, but watch for one sec. So there's your dog pose. Here's plank. So it's not up here and it's not here. It's like you just envision from the top of your head to your heels a straight line like a board. Okay, so let's try it again. Go to downward facing dog when you're ready. Come into plank. Think of a board. That's better. Keep your abs tight. Lift your right leg. Put it down. Good. Lift your left. Put it down and now rest completely. Go to child's pose or laying on your back. That was much better. That was much better. Yeah. Good job, you guys. All right. So come up just so that you can sit comfortably. So what we're going to do next is a resting, kind of relaxed Uttanasana. I'll demonstrate it really fast. You guys have done this with me plenty. So I'm going to put my hands down and then lift my legs and put my feet down with my feet wide, like as wide as my mat, and my knees are bent. So we'll just be here for a moment in this kind of resting Uttanasana. So when you're ready, put your hands down and then lift up your legs in a little bit. Put your feet down, bend your knees, and just let yourself hang your rib cage, your shoulders, your head. Let that relax down, and the weight is in your legs and feet. Have your feet wide as your mat, and just let your knees be bent. Let your knees really bend and your head go down. There you go. Relax your neck. Let your head go down. Yeah, relax your ribs. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, and then let's sit back down. Can you put your fingertips down and go back down to any comfortable seated position? So watch for one more moment here. So I don't want it like this. There the weight is in my hands. I want you to have the weight in your legs. So you could essentially bring your hands off of the floor. Okay, try it again. Come up onto your hands and then take your feet apart, bend your legs, and just let the weight be in your legs. Walk your hands towards your feet more. Walk your hands towards your feet more. Walk your hands towards your feet and bend your knees. Bend your legs. Put your hands like on your ankles. Bend your legs. Let your head hang down. There. That's it. Good. Now back to downward facing dog. Walk out. Pick your thighs back. Downward facing dog. And then child's pose. Good. Okay. and come on up into a comfortable, actually sit on a blanket. So you're going to take a blanket, fold it in half, and then sit on it. And straighten your legs out first towards straight forward. Good. Okay, and then bend your right knee out to the side. And if your leg is up like this, or if it's aching in your hip or your knee, then you just grab another blanket and support it if you need to. Reach up, and then exhale and reach out. Come a little bit forward. Good. Cross your right hand to your straight leg. Put your left hand over a little bit and gently turn towards the left, but make it really easy. The twist part really easy. Breathing. And then come on back in the middle and reach up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach out. And then help your leg with your hands and take it out. And when you're ready, bend the left. So the legs are grounded to the earth. When you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach out. Come forward a little bit. Grounded with the legs, crossing that left hand to the straight leg. The right hand can go a little bit more over to the side, and you're just gently turning now to the right, to the straight leg side. And then to the center and reach up, inhale, and exhale, reach out. And help that leg and take it out. Good. All right. So let's sit in Virasana if that's available to you. So a few of you can't do Virasana. If that's you, the people that can't do Virasana, just repeat this one. And just take your time and make it feel good. And so if you can't sit in that deep bend, then you just can do Janu Sirsasana again. Then the rest of us, go ahead and take your blanket and fold it way up, or use, your bolster or multiple blankets and come into Virasana. That's that pose where your feet go on the outside of your blanket and you're sitting up high. Blankets under your hips. That's it. It shouldn't hurt your knees. If it does hurt your knees, then you need to add more blankets under your hips. And then a few of you are doing Janu Sirsasana. Just enjoy it. Just take your time. If you're doing the Janu Sirsasana, just make it feel good. All right, so the people that are in Virasana, come up onto your shins. Lean back just a little bit, and you feel your feet feel different. Push your feet down, push your ankles down, and try to turn your thighs from the inside to the outside. So on the fronts of your thighs, from the inner thigh towards the outer thigh, turn out. Keep turning out and sit back down. Push your feet down, your shins down, your ankles down, and turn the thighs out. And then keep doing that when you're seated. Keep turning thighs out, pushing ankles and feet down, and sit up nice and tall. Reach your right arm up, bend it, and reach behind your head for your shoulder blades. Take your left arm away from you a little bit. Keep turning your thighs out, pushing your feet down. And then your left arm, bend it across your back waist. And then see if you can slide the bottom hand up towards the top hand. And release the two arms down, hands to thighs. Turn thighs out, sit up nice and tall, and then left arm, reach it up, bend it behind head for shoulder blades. Right arm, reach it out a little bit, bend it across your waist, and then up your back, slide it up towards the shoulder blades. Turn thighs out, sit up nice and tall, and then lower the two hands to the thighs. Come all the way forward on hands and knees. And then shift your knees forward a little bit so that you could sit your hip down and swing the two legs out, straightening two legs. Okay. So, sit in any comfortable position while you watch this. So I'm just debating about the props. So I'm gonna just have you do this with a blanket because I know that everyone has a blanket. I think you could see this one easier. So that's the size we always get it at the yoga studio. So I'm gonna fold it in half and then half again, and I make that big chunky cube. And then I'll lay on my back flat with this just next to me where I can grab it. I've got my legs bent. I kind of tuck my arms under me so my chest is lifted. And then I lift my hips and pull this high chunky blanket underneath my sacrum and roll my chest back open for a supported Bandha. So let's go ahead and do that. So you're gonna lay flat with your legs bent, have the blanket near you, and then lift your hips up and pull the blanket under your sacrum. And then you just have to roll your arms under you a little bit and adjust it so that your chest is nice and open, your arms are under you, and that the blanket is under your sacrum. And so, Karin, you can always do it lower. If that's too high, you know, you would just come down and fold it one less if you need to. So get your arms under you, almost like you're sitting on your arms. Try to kind of pin your arms under you more, like you could almost lay on them. Yeah, like that. Yeah. All right. So then, keeping your chest really nicely lifted, bend your right knee into your chest. Not with your arms, just leave your arms down and just pull your leg in and lift your chest up. And then see if you can straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling. And then bend it in and set it down. And then do the left into the chest. Lift your chest though. And then stretch your left leg up. And bend it in and set it down. Good. Okay, so this hopefully feels okay in your back, or feels good in your back. If this does not feel good on your lower back, then I need you to make the blanket one fold lower. So you're not straining at all here. So if you need it lower, then come down, undo the blanket one, and then do it lower. Now your right leg, see if you can slide it away from your face now, keeping your right foot near the floor. Just stretch your right heel out along the ground and push that leg out. Gently open your chest. Good, and bend it back in, and now slide the left one out. Soften your belly. Make sure you're breathing. And then bend that one in. Now really get your arms under you and see if you can bend both knees one at a time in and take your feet off of the floor. Have both legs bent and lift your chest. And now just your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend it, and now your left leg up towards the ceiling. If it feels like it would be easy to do both legs up towards the ceiling, do, but really lift your chest. So this is like Viparita Karani without the wall. If this is hard, don't stay. If it's hard, bend your legs. So I see some of you are a little bit struggling. If it's difficult, don't stay. And then bend both legs, just 1 foot at a time to the floor, and then the second foot to the floor. Now straighten your right leg out on the ground. Just the right leg, stretch it out. And then bend it in, and your left leg, stretch it out. And then bend it in. Now lift your hips up and pull the blanket out and lower your back down. Just stay there with your legs bent and let your back soften. Cross the right ankle over your left knee. Optional to pull the legs in and release. 2 feet to floor. Left ankle over right knee. Optional to pull the legs in. Make sure you're breathing. And release. Take 2 feet to floor and straighten now both legs out on the ground. Press your legs down. And then bend your legs in and roll over and sit up. Sorry, the trash is coming over in the alley. It's kind of loud out. So sorry about that. See my cat running by. Okay, so we're gonna go to wide legs. You could certainly sit up on a blanket. Some of you don't need to. You're welcome to do this seated flat if that feels fine for you. But take a comfortable, moderate, wide leg position where you're feeling grounded with your legs. And then your right hand, go ahead and reach it down your right leg where it feels reasonable, really reasonable. So you're still grounded through both legs. And then your other arm, reach it up and just gently turn your chest up. Make it really soft so you can still breathe. And then sit yourself back up, really grounding the legs. Let's do that on the other side. So just a moderate movement over the left leg, and your right arm reaches up, and you're just gently turning your chest up, but where you're still really comfortable. And then coming back into the middle. Keep grounding the legs. Now the second time we do it, we might go a little bit further for those that are a little more flexible. So then the right hand can slide down, and either you just stay here like we did, or you can bend your right arm and lower it to the right leg and take the left arm over. Now if that's, if it's too much, just stay in the more open version. And then really grounding the legs, coming to center, breathe. And then when you're ready, going left, either staying in the open version or dropping the left arm down and taking the right arm over. Just breathe and be in a comfortable range for you. Legs very grounded as you rise back on up. And then use your hands to help your legs to come back in. And then Baddha Konasana. Make it a comfortable distance where you can easily sit up and hold where you like, either your toes or your ankles or the hands behind. Good. So sitting up nice and tall, pulling your waist back a little bit. Try to push your heels in. Breathe. Good. And now help your legs with your hands and straighten them back out. So some of us have knee and hip stuff going on, and when I demonstrate Baddha Konasana again, you might want to just stay in the first part like we just did. So if there's anything going on with your hips, then maybe don't do this next modification of the pose. So go ahead and come back into a Baddha Konasana that you're comfortable in. Sit up nice and tall. Now, those of you that kind of love this pose, that feel very safe and very comfortable here, your right arm, you can put it on your right leg, kind of on your thigh, and lean on it. Now, when you lean to the right, your left buttock bone might come up. That's okay for a moment. Now, like I said, if this is not comfortable, then you just stay in the first part. So you don't have to be doing this modification. And then carefully back in the middle. Just kind of even out in the middle. And then we'll try the other side. So I use my forearm bone onto my thigh, and I just lean into that leg, and the other leg lifts. Now, you know, if that doesn't feel good on your back or your knee or something, just be in the center. And then back into that central pose, and for a moment you'll lift up. If it feels like you naturally want to come forward in this, then you could fold forward, but that might not be for you. So if you come forward and it hurts your back, then don't do it. If it feels like you naturally want to go forward, then you go forward. And then come back on up, and for a moment sit up really tall, really, really tall, and then help your legs with your hands. Lift with your arms and take the two legs back out. Straighten them truly down for a moment to the floor. Good. All right. So trash trucks have gone by. It's a little more quiet. I'm going to show you something. We do this at the studio all the time. I think you'll be able to see it fairly easily from the screen. I have taught this before in the online class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blanket, fold it in half. You could use your bolster if you have a bolster. And I'm going to put it beside my mat, lay on my belly. This is to my right side, and then I'm going to put my right leg on it, bent like that. So ideally, you want to have your knee coming straight out from your hip joint. So that right femur bone straight out from the hip, and the shin supported up on your blanket or your bolster. So let's go ahead and get started, and I can see you guys coming into it. And then when you get here, you turn your belly to the left, away from your bent leg, and then just get it comfortable for your head, for your arms, whatever your arms want to do, where your neck is the most comfortable. That's it. Yeah, that looks good. And now your straight leg, kind of move it, start moving it towards your bent leg and just lay on your left side. And you can just kind of do a little mini fetal position on your left side for a second. And then carefully push from the floor to come up. And we'll do the other one. So you're going to lay on your belly and take your left leg over onto the blanket. Try to line up the hip and the knee joint and turn your belly to the right away from the bent leg. Keep your neck comfortable, your arms comfortable. And then sweeping the straight leg towards the bent leg and just laying on the right side for a moment. Good. And then push up. And now grab your blanket, hold it from the folded side and roll it a little bit, not the whole blanket roll, and then lay on it where that roll lands at the bottom of your shoulder blades. Take your arms out, legs are bent. A few of you, like Linda, you might need another blanket for your head, for your neck, and Karin, so a few of you might need to grab a second blanket to use underneath the head. Let your arms go out. Try to get the roll to be at your shoulder blade area. And I'm gonna come look at you guys real fast in this one. I leave my legs bent, but once you've been there for a little while, if it feels okay, you can straighten them. So make sure your neck feels okay. If you need to grab another blanket for the neck, it looks good. Yeah, it should feel like your chest is just opening over the roll. So the rolled blanket should be at about the bottom edge of your shoulder blades, if you can sort that out. Yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah, like that. Make sure you're breathing. Now, if your back is at all spasmy or tight and uncomfortable, then you would roll to the side and sit up. If you could be here for a few more moments, see if you can take your arms over your head bent, hold on to your elbows or your forearms, and just gently bring your arms over in this position. But of course, that's optional. You don't have to do that. Keep breathing. And then release your arms back out at the sides. And now bend the knees if they're straight and roll over, sit up. take your blanket and fold it in half. I'm just gonna do this really fast. So you're gonna lay back down with your back flat, but put the legs folded onto the blanket. Now, a few of you that might be too low, so you might need to grab another blanket and make it higher. So it's simple cross legs, laying on your back with your legs slightly raised up on a bolster or a blanket. And then change the cross of the legs. If this is deeply uncomfortable, don't stay in it. You know, if you need to, you could always just put your legs out. Now let's see if it's available to you to go to Baddha Konasana here with the feet together and the knees apart. And then just let the legs drape over the blanket or bolster. And then rebend them and put your feet on it, on the bolster or the blanket. Kind of lift your tailbone up and lengthen your back, and then set it down. And now those of you that are comfortable in lotus or half lotus can take the right leg in and either do half lotus, or, you know, if you can easily do full, you could take your left on top and do full. And if you can't do that, you could do simple cross legs again. And then just change your sides. So if you're doing half lotus, you bring your left one in first. Just drop the legs back down onto the blanket, wherever they go. They might not go down very far, don't worry. And those that are doing full, will just bring the right one on the top. And then undo the legs and drape them on the blanket again. Try to really relax them. And Baddha Konasana one more time with your feet elevated up on the blanket or bolster. Good. And then curl your legs in, roll over, and now take that blanket and open it open it to this long fold that we use, and then roll it from the long side to make a big, long tube. And you're gonna do Baddha Konasana again. I'm gonna do it facing you, and then I'm gonna turn and lay down the way you'll do it. So when you do it, you're gonna put your feet together like I did, and then this wraps around your legs like that. So then when you're ready, you're gonna wrap it around your legs and lay back down. So your back is gonna be flat in this one, and the blanket roll is gonna hold your legs. You could put your hands on your belly, you could put your arms out at your sides. And then now it's meant to be very comforting, so you just really wanna make it where you can relax, where you can relax your back and relax your legs. A few of you might need that extra blanket under the head, you know, for the neck. If there's something going on in your legs and this does not feel good, then of course you just undo it and put your legs out. Close your eyes, relax your eyes. Follow your breath. Soften your belly. Relax your face, your throat. And just let your legs slide out into Shavasana, just letting your legs straighten out onto the ground. Let your whole body rest down. Weight of the legs heavy. Relax your feet. Relax your arms. From deep inside of your chest, relax the arms. Soften the hands. Relax the belly. Let your belly empty on the exhalations. Make it easy though. Relax your face. Mouth, your eyes soft. Follow the breath. Letting go with the exhale. Gradually, really softly begin coming out of your Shavasana. If you prefer to stay, you are ready to gradually get out of Shavasana. Take your time. As you're at home, if you want to stay, you can. That's fine. For those of you that are getting out of Shavasana, just move slow, take your time. it is a good idea to gather yourself if you are coming up. The moment of just kind of feeling your body, your breath, and what's right around you. Just kind of gathering inward for a moment, letting your energy just kind of come back to you. But if you want to stay, since you're at home, you can certainly stay. I'm sure lots of people want to stay. Thank you for being